This weekend, Elton John took the stage today for a sold-out concert. So a really good kickoff weekend for the Metro Park.
Yeah, we picked up another good probably inch or two of snow here in the Great Falls area. I have a bad hamstring.
That's your excuse? My excuse is I just can't dance.
There's that big ridge of high pressure beginning to make its... That's about as close to skiing as I want to get right here. A little ski machine that I've built into the chair. Well, Stephanie, we're going to see skies continuing to clear during the overnight hours and by tomorrow. What was your favorite?
Probably the cheesy fries.
What'd you like about them?
Probably all the cheesy goodness in them.
All the cheesy goodness? And I rode one similar to in Texas, but I'm sure this will be pretty intense. Here it is, almost the middle of April, and we are starting to see temperatures warm, and that is causing some flooding problems across the High Line, mainly along the Milk River, as I was showing you in those pictures there from the National Weather Service in Great Falls. Flood warning is until further notice for Valley and Phillips counties. At Milk River, at Saco, Tampico, Glasgow, and Nashua expected to reach moderate to major flood stage levels by Tuesday morning and through the remainder probably of the season, as they had so much snow this winter that it's all beginning to melt and the streams are starting to melt, and that's just going to add more water to the river. Lowland flooding in Hill and Blaine and Sheridan counties from snowmelt reported in that area, and the river starting to back up towards Harlem in Blaine County. So we have a flood watch there. If you live along these areas, be very careful. Don't drive across flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. Still 55 degrees in Fort Benton. Boy, sure is nice down there by the river. 45 out in Belt, 36 in Lewistown. Here in Great Falls, we're sitting in the 40s, low 40s, 41 in Great Falls, 43 at the Air Force Base. And Helena, you're still pretty nice, 46 degrees. Winds mainly out of the west and southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour across most of the area. Here's pinpoint Doppler radar. Over the last few hours, we've seen mainly clear skies. Earlier today, though, had a couple of showers pop up around south of Big Sandy, and that has since dissipated along the mountains there. 37 at midnight tonight, partly cloudy skies as the clouds increase towards morning. 34 for the overnight low. Winds gusting at times to around 30 miles per hour. Here's Futurecast starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll see the clouds come and go, and by late in the afternoon, chance for an afternoon thunder shower popping up. We could hear a rumble of thunder from those clouds during the afternoon hours when we wake up on Tuesday morning, though. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, and we'll see that kind of off and on through the week as we get chances and impulses of moisture working its way through the area. 32 for the overnight low in Townsend, 32 also for Stanford and Lewistown, 35 in Fort Benton. Not a bad night, partly to mostly cloudy skies, breezy and mild with that little bit of cloud cover keeping things a little bit warm along with the winds. 53 for Helena tomorrow, 61 in Fort Benton. 55 in Stanford. I'm going to want to go to Fort Benton tomorrow. It's going to be so nice. 57 out in Stockton. Here in Great Falls, we'll see a high of 57 degrees at 4 o'clock with an afternoon thunderstorm possible and winds gusting to around 40 miles per hour at times. Along the Rocky Mountain front, breezy tonight, mostly cloudy. 30s for your overnight lows, warming into the upper 40s and low 50s tomorrow. A chance of a shower and a snow shower back towards Browning. 56 in Shelby and Choteau. Afternoon thunderstorm or thunder shower possible for you. 32 in Malta overnight. 28 for Scobie. 27 in Wolf Point. Partly to mostly cloudy skies with maybe a little bit of fog forming off towards the east. 60 in Chinook tomorrow. 59 in Havre. You can see why the warm temperatures are causing concerns as all that snow begins to melt and flood the rivers. Mainly sunny on Tuesday, 49 for the high, a little bit cooler than Monday, but we'll stay pretty seasonable as we go through the rest of the week. A chance for maybe some rain mixing with snow on Thursday for both Great Falls and Helena. Temperatures will start to warm back up going in towards next weekend, where we could see another chance for some afternoon showers. And actually, there's a tornado warning now for Macomb County. That's just south of Wolf Point. Here's the video that we received from our storm spotter, Richard Reeve in Dutton. Filmed this earlier this afternoon. We had our tower cam up earlier, but boy, you can really clearly see how close this was to touching the ground. One of our storm spotters sent a still photo in. Jan Anderson of Dutton sent this from her backyard. We thank her for the photos, and we thank Richard Reeve as well. This earlier this afternoon was that tornado warning. It moved off towards the east, popped up some more thunderstorm warnings, and now a tornado warning is in effect for just south of Wolf Point. In addition to that tornado threat, there's also golf ball sized hail and numerous cloud to ground lightning strikes. Wind gusts out of this storm are possible as well. Good afternoon, I'm Tim Lankford in the News Channel 5 Pinpoint Weather Center, where we're watching a very strong developing winter storm on its way into the state. I'm going to start the satellite and radar loop. You can see these bright oranges and yellows, or reds and yellows rather, moving across and into western portions of the United States, Pacific North Coast. And that is a very deep moisture tap off of the Pacific that is going to continue to stream across the mountains and into central Montana. At the same time, two big strong upper level low pressure systems, one deriving that moisture, another one going to bring down very cold Arctic air from the Gulf of Alaska and northern Canada into the state, and that is going to create very cold wind chills by Wednesday evening into Thursday and to greet the new year. We do have the potential for some very, very, very strong snowfall accumulations, very high snowfall accumulations. We'll start our Futurecast snow totals at 11 o'clock this morning, run it through the overnight hours. It's slow to get started, but by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we're looking at 7 to 7.5 inches of snow on the ground in Great Falls, 6 inches in Havre, 3 over in Glasgow and Lewistown, 5 to 6 inches in the Helena Valley. Move it out forward and you can see that snow just explode, the Futurecast totals just explode. 9 inches in Lewistown, 12.5 to 13 inches in Havre, 12 inches here in Great Falls. That jives with what the Weather Service is predicting, except for Havre. They're saying maybe up to 15 inches around the Havre area, down towards Big Sandy, and Fort Benton could see that much as well. 10 inches of snow for Cudbank. This is a very strong winter storm, and it's going to be very strong with the winds as well. Right now, winds are out of the southwest, but watch it turn to the north during the overnight and daytime hours tomorrow. Once that gets going, those will be very strong northerly winds bringing in very cold air. It wouldn't surprise me if the Weather Service actually upgraded the existing winter storm warning over central Montana to a blizzard watch or warning over the next 24 hours. We'll be keeping an eye on it here in the Weather Center, but regardless, up to 12 inches of snow in Great Falls and the lower elevations, 2 feet of snow possible in the mountains of central Montana. We'll keep an eye on it here in the Weather Center and have complete details for you tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Very, very strong returns on our hail product right here. So the core of this hail center of this storm is just over the Air Force Base, over Columbus Air Force Base right now. You're probably seeing some very heavy hail coming down at Columbus Air Force Base and near the Calola Springs area. It's moving towards you. And then here we have Caledonia. That's going to be the next town that, aside from Calola Springs and the Air Force Base, Caledonia is going to be the next town that's going to need to be taking shelter as soon as possible. And you can see we another update here on the radar. We see this wraparound. That is probably a signal that the storm is intensifying. If we take a look at our velocity, you can see very strong winds going out of the radar, very strong winds now going back towards the radar, and that is probably a signal that the storm is intensifying, possibly getting ready to put a tornado. Calola Springs, you need to be making your emergency precautions right now. You need to be in the lowest level of your home. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out immediately. Interior room, away from windows. Do not try to outrun this in a car. If you're in a mobile home, please get out now and get to a ditch or a low-level area, away from trees, away from buildings as much as you can, so that any damage from this storm does not affect you while you're in the outdoors. Let's go back to the radar right now. You can see we do have this rotation right here beginning to pull the stronger rains around into the storm. That's usually an indication that this storm is intensifying as it moves toward the Caledonia area. And another update right now, this is a very dangerous tornado, very dangerous storm. We don't know if there's a tornado yet, but this is a very dangerous storm. I'm just getting an update here. Tornado warning remains in effect until 2:15 for northeastern Lowndes County. That's the Lowndes County line right there. That's northeastern Lowndes County. If you're in Calola Springs, if you're in Caledonia, you need to be taking shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous situation with a history of producing tornadoes in Clayton Village, near the West Point area, down near the Ware area as it moved up. National Weather Service Doppler radar was tracking this storm. Tornado was located near Columbus Air Force Base, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. It's not very far from the Air Force Base to Caledonia. If you're in Caledonia, you need to be taking shelter now. Now is the time to get to the lowest level of your home. We have winds reported at Columbus Air Force Base of 62 miles an hour as it passed over the Air Force Base. And so the Columbus Air Force Base is right along in here, probably, if I remember correctly, just to the west of 45. So if you're near Caledonia, if you're near Calola Springs, it's probably past you right now. But look at this. We've got very strong winds coming out of the radar, very strong winds going into the radar, and this is a very, very strong tornado possible touching down near Caledonia. If you're in Caledonia, you need to be taking shelter immediately. This is a very dangerous situation.